How's it going, everybody? It's Captain Solomon again, and it's that time where I review Raw and Smackdown for the week. This will be for the May 14th edition of Raw and the May 15th edition of Smackdown. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Our edition of Raw starts with a Roman Reigns coming down to the ring. He talks about how he's been cheated by the company, other sorts of things that he's been complaining about a lot lately. He also decides that he's going to call out Jinder for the actions that Jinder took last week. Now, Jinder isn't the one to come out. Kurt Angle instead is the one to come out. He says the decision he made last week was either a poor decision or emotionally charged, something along those lines. I can't remember the wording perfectly. However, it's quite clear by his delivery that he isn't the one that feels these things. It's clearly Stephanie McMahon who's the one that feels these things. And he proceeds to say that Jinder will have a qualifying match tonight against Bobby Lashley and Elias in a triple threat match because it's what's best for business, which again is another big hint that Stephanie McMahon is at fault here. We also, Roman then says that he wants in on the match. Kurt says he can't do that, so Roman says he gets it. All right, yeah, so you're just doing your job, but I'm gonna do my job. So he then goes backstage, finds Jinder Mahal, just beats the hell out of him, gives him a Superman punch and everything. Because that's how baby faces work nowadays, you just jump the guy that, you're unhappy with. I feel like they're going for Stone Cold. That's the idea they're shooting for, and it doesn't feel right, is the best thing I can say. We end up getting the Intercontinental title on the line as Seth Rollins takes on Kevin Owens. Very good match. There was a Falcon's Arrow done by Seth Rollins onto Kevin Owens on the ring apron, which was just brutal looking. There was also a moment where it looked like, the similar finish that he likes to go for, the superplex into the Falcon's Arrow, was about to happen. However, Kevin Owens reversed that into, I don't know if it was a key buster, or key breaker rather, or a fisherman suplex buster, something like that. It seemed something along those lines, but it was an excellent little reversal up on the top rope. You do get Rollins getting the win off the curb stomp that seemed almost out of nowhere, but it's kind of what everybody expected. They've been talking about this video package, this whole video package. It's to basically say that Nia Jax is going to go against Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank for the Raw Women's Championship. Also, however, Charlotte Flair is there, and it's a weird, awkward segment where Charlotte seems to be trying to get the woo over more than the match itself over. There's also the whole thing where at the end she's just like, this is gonna be good. And it's just really lame. It just felt awkward. It just doesn't really feel good, especially because I think it's too early to give Ronda a title match right now. It's just weird. We get Bo Dallas, and then we get Curtis Axel. They're backstage talking to Kurt. They talk about how they are the A-Team, to which Kurt reminds them that the A-Team is a TV show and a movie remake. You could have just said the TV show, but that's fine. So after that, Bo says, all right, then we are the B-Team. Both Kurts say that's stupid. And Bo goes, the B stands for best. Instantly, Axel is on board. Alright, so they say they want to take a shot at the tag team titles. Kurt says that you guys haven't even won a match. He's like, they respond with, as the Miztourage, we haven't won any matches, but as the B team, we're undefeated, which was brilliant. So they're told that they're going to get a match later. That match is against Breezango. Solid overall. It's nice to see Fandango in the ring. He's really good. You sort of forget that because of the joke gimmick. It does end with the B team picking up the win in this match, which is all fine and good. They end up getting an interview post-match where it seemed like this is the greatest moment of their lives. They say that they're coming for the tag titles. I love it. So then we get a triple threat qualifier match for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match as No Way Jose takes on Bobby Roode and Baron Corbin in this triple threat. It does end with Bobby Roode pinning No Way Jose for the victory, but it also seems like because of the way Jose threw Baron out of the ring right towards the end of the match, that they're still kind of feuding those two, which is whatever. No Way Jose isn't doing a whole lot on the roster just yet. he's always going to be mid-card. I'm curious if they're ever going to try to give Baron another push, because I hear that backstage they still do like him, but that's neither here nor there. Then we get a 6-woman tag where the faces of Sasha Banks, Natalya, and Ember Moon take on the Riot Squad. Not a great match. It wasn't bad, but it really kind of picked up once Natalya entered the ring. She does end up making Liv Morgan tap out in the ring, which was all fine and good. Natalya was really kind of the best part of this match overall, besides the suicide dive from Ember Moon, which was really good. But it was okay all around, in my opinion. Then later on you see, or soon after, you see the Leader of Worlds, one of my personal favorite tag teams, taking on the Revival. It feels like the Revival are just jobbers right now, which it isn't good for them. They are a very good tag team. It makes me kind of sad. There was also a nice bit where you saw the B team taking notes on the Leader of Worlds as if they were preparing and studying them. Oh, I also forgot to mention that during their match, the B team, that is, people started singing in the crowd. They started chanting the A team theme, which was fantastic. All right, then we get Sami Zayn. He comes out and gives a beautiful promo by himself. It does just include talking about Vertigo and things like that. A lot of the stuff that he's saying on anybody else, I think, would be a bad promo. But for some reason, Sami Zayn's delivery, I'm just a sucker for. He pulls out the Sami Zayn reading glasses again, which is another huge thing that I love. Basically reads the friggin' WebMD definition of Vertigo. He also says that he's going to prove that Bobby Lashley is not a family man, such as he says, and he's actually going to bring Bobby Lashley's sisters out to Raw next week to prove that. So I'm curious where this is going. I'll talk about later, it's clear that the sisters thing is not a good choice by WWE. Alexa Bliss versus Bayley versus Mickie James is a triple threat qualifier for the Money in the Bank women's match that takes place. You do see Bliss pick up the win as she pins Bayley, which is fine. There was also a moment backstage where Sasha Banks stopped Bayley, wished her good luck. Bayley said thanks. That was it. Because we, some reason, still need a slow burn for this feud. They either need to just do something with it or get rid of it. I'm so mind-numbingly bored with this. Just pull the trigger. Anyways, you get a really good tag match on Raw as well. You get Braun Strowman and Finn Balor as a tag team going against Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. In my head, this was going to be a terrible booking situation because you don't... I mean, what do you do with either? You don't want anybody losing in this match, except one person can take a pin here. And I think we all knew who it is. It's, of course, Finn Balor. So, it was a very good match overall. Some good spots in the match. Braun at one point picked up Finn Balor after Finn tagged himself in on a blind tag. Braun just tossed him on top of, I believe it was Ziggler. And Finn's just come, oh god, come on, that hurts. And Braun just yells at him, you're fine, get up. They both do the Braun pose, which is perfectly fine by me. There's also Braun doing the shoulder check thing that he does to people outside to Drew McIntyre, of all people. Tossed him off to the side. He hit the Greatest Royal Rumble trophy. It fell over and broke. It also hit JoJo, I'm pretty sure. So it's great to see that the Greatest Royal Rumble, 3 weeks removed now, is still finding a way to botch. So that was that match. Finn ends up getting pinned. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre do pick up the win here. Then they play the Ronda segment thing again. I feel like it's been happening a million times throughout the night. It might have only happened 2 or 3, but it felt like an eternity. It's an awkward segment. And then we get our build up to our main event as they show Jinder. Earlier they had also shown him bandaged up with what's bandaged on his ribs. The medic's telling him, look, you're in pain, but you're gonna have to fight through the pain if you want to be in that match. And he insists that he's going to fight through it. Well, then he's backstage, and the ever-lovable babyface Roman spears him through a wall, which was a clear breakaway wall. It was a badly shot scene. It looked terrible, in my opinion, but it could just be my opinion. But anyway, yeah, so Jinder is now out because of Roman Reigns' action, so who gets put in? Well, obviously not Roman Reigns. So, they gotta find a replacement, And I'm guessing because Kevin Owens called Stephanie McMahon earlier in the night, he ends up becoming the person to replace Jinder Mahal in the triple threat match. I also forgot to mention one segment earlier, and I apologize for backtracking again. But Kevin Owens wanted a rematch against Seth Rollins. Kurt told him he wasn't going to get it. So that's when Kevin Owens just decided to call Stephanie. I'm guessing this is his consolation prize in a sense. Anyway, all that matters is it's now a triple threat between Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, and Elias. It was an okay match. Nothing too exciting in my personal opinion. It was all right. The spot I remember the most was Elias sitting outside on the apron with his guitar during the match, getting JoJo to hold the mic for him, and he proceeds to try to give a concert, and then he's about to get attacked. So he's like it gets picked up on the mic. He's like, pull the mic away, because he's about to get attacked. Yeah, but all in all, that match was just okay. Sami Zayn does end up showing up, getting involved, attacking Bobby Lashley, which gives Kevin Owens the chance to pick up the victory, and he picks up the final men's spot on Raw for the Money in the Bank ladder match, and that's the way Raw ends, and in my opinion, it was a solid 3 out of 5. There was some, other than that, the women's stuff lacking, and that women's segment being super awkward. Overall, it was a pretty fun Raw. I can't really knock it too much, so yeah, we're just going to go with a solid 3 out of 5. Now, Smackdown. So Smackdown opens up with Renee Young. She introduces Daniel Bryan. He and Renee talk about his accomplishments, and the crowd get the yes chants going. Bryan obviously being perfect to get the crowd hyped up. They eventually kind of bring him back in, and he talks about how he lost to Rusev last week, and he says being back just isn't enough. He wants to be on top. He says he's going to be WWE champion before everything is said and done. He guarantees that it's going to happen. Big Cass then comes out to, bore everybody, in my opinion, this time. He takes shots at Daniel, says he knows the truth about him. He says that he will make sure he never achieves anything in the WWE again. He said he didn't tap because he was in pain. He tapped because he wanted to get up and beat him down. Cass calls Daniel loser and other basic stuff. It goes on for a while. Then he gets in the ring, which then Daniel Bryan proceeds to beat the hell out of him. He takes his knee out. He gets him locked in again in the yes-lock, makes him tap out immediately. It was more of a heel hook. I don't think it was the full yes-lock, but he gets him to tap out. Doesn't matter. So yeah, Cass just looks like garbage. At this point, they just need to take him back off TV, because none of this that they're doing feels good, in my opinion. So, we get into our first match. It's the New Day versus The Bar. All in all, good match. I like these teams, so it's perfectly good. The winning team in this match gets to choose one of their members to put in the Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. The match in and of itself is good. Xavier at one point got a hot tag in towards the end and hit a really crazy DDT on Cesaro. He ended up kicking out though. At one point towards the end, Sheamus and Big E end up brawling on the outside. Xavier Woods hits the elbow drop that he does, but it was felt like the full distance of the ring. He got some airtime on that one. He does pick up the win for his team. So one of the members of the New Day, I'm assuming next week, will be announced as another member entered into the Money in the Bank ladder match. We then get a Bludgeon Brothers promo where they're just being genuinely creepy. The come play with us thing again. It's super creepy. I don't like it, man. It's just it's weird. No, it was a perfectly good promo. I like it. I thought it was a good promo. So then we get Paige backstage talking to Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And they're talking. They're saying Mandy didn't qualify for the Money in the Bank, but both of these ladies have a chance tonight in a triple threat match against Becky Lynch. So that made me excited, even though the numbers game was going to be against my second favorite women's star, Becky Lynch. But we'll get into that a little later. There's another backstage segment with Renee Young talking to AJ Styles. In our main event tonight, he is facing Shinsuke Nakamura. The winner is going to get to decide what type of match they have for the championship, which is a cool idea. I'm curious what's going to be picked. There was a lot of joking and stuff, very funny, casual AJ Styles promo. But by the end of it, the best thing I could say is that AJ says he is going to win with a forearm to face. We then get Andrade Cien Almas in his debut match against a local London hometown guy. It's a squash match. There isn't much I could say about it. He picks up the win with the underhook DDT, or the why can't I think of it? It's a hook DDT. I'm sorry, but he picks up the win. It's perfectly fine with the hammerlock DDT. That's what I was looking for, hammerlock. Yeah, he gets the win. It's less than a 2-minute match. Then afterwards, Zelina Vega cuts a very good promo about how pathetic the SmackDown locker room is and about how they're basically going to be taking over. Then we get a Rusev Day segment, and it was kind of Money in the Bank oriented and everything, which was all fine and good. Lana is going to get to face Billie Kay next week to try to qualify, which is cool for Lana. However, she had an accent and then lost the accent and then gained it back in the same promo, which was really weird, but that's fine. Then they had the Melibration. Not much to go into. Again, it was just Carmella being Carmella. Lots of like demanding respect from the crowd and such. Just, I beat Charlotte Flair stuff going on. Then Paige comes out. Paige says that she will be facing Asuka at Money in the Bank, which is my favorite female wrestler. So I'm excited to see that Asuka is going to get to take her on. So then after that, Renee Young is backstage, and she's trying to talk to Shinsuke, which we all know he forgot English, but apparently he didn't for this one. I'm not going to go into detail like I usually do with him. He says that, he's going to win is the long and short of it. It's a good heel worked promo, but he does say that he is going to beat AJ Styles. We then get the triple threat match, the Becky Lynch versus Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. And as we all know, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are going to work together in this match. It's just how they roll. That's the way it mostly goes. I feel Sonya actually looked the best in this match for her segments. That's just because I don't feel there's a Mandy Rose, Becky Lynch synergy. Maybe it's just those two. We really haven't seen Mandy Rose do anything else too serious otherwise, so I'm going to assume it's just not matching up with Becky well, and have fingers crossed there, because I have confidence that she's better than this. But Becky ends up getting the disarmer on Mandy Rose and picks up the win that way. So yeah, Becky Lynch is now qualified for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which exciting. I like that. Straight fire. So then after that, we get a couple phone promos. We get one with Samoa Joe where he calls out Big Cass, of all people. I still love hearing Samoa Joe talk, but I'm not sure why he's got to call out Big Cass. Then we get one from the Iconics, and again, not going to go into detail. It's the Iconics being iconic, and it was, again, pretty fun, even though I'm kind of sick of phone promos again. And then we get our main event, which is Shinsuke Nakamura taking on AJ Styles. Honestly, probably the best match that these two have had so far in the WWE yet. It makes me super, super excited for when they actually take each other on in this title match coming up. It's going to be beautiful when we get like this whole story wrapped up, because it's just been literally every match has been stepping up and stepping up. Every match they've been countering each other move for move, better and better each time, which is exactly what I want. It's similar to their New Japan days, so this is going to be perfect. There was a lot of big spots. I'm not even going to list all of them. The phenomenal forearm to the outside by AJ was nice. There was a point where they were going to Shinsuke was going to suplex him to the outside, but he ended up catching one himself onto the apron. There was a bunch of missed finishers and reversals and everything like that. The way the match ends up ending is Shinsuke is down, he's getting up. AJ's going to go for the phenomenal forearm. He comes in flying out of the ring. Shinsuke ducks it, and AJ ends up kind of hitting the ref. Now, the ref doesn't get like knocked out completely or anything like that, but AJ's kind of checking on him. And then when he turns around, the ref's still kind of getting up. Shinsuke instantly feigns like he's been hit with a low blow. The ref sees this, looks at AJ, looks at Shinsuke. Shinsuke's still selling the low blow that never happened. And AJ's like trying to explain to him, like, hey, look, he's faking it, that nothing happened. To which, the distraction gives Shinsuke the chance to get up and hit the belly-to-back suplex real quick. It wasn't really exactly that move. But again, I'm in a rush now because it's almost time. This video is 20 minutes long. He hits him with a suplex and then follows it up with a Kinshasa. This gets him the victory. So Shinsuke Nakamura is going to get to pick the stipulation for the championship match between those two, and I can't wait to see what it is. It said that he's going to be, I'm assuming, pick it next week on SmackDown. And that was it. SmackDown, again, very good show. I wasn't that let down. It felt a little slow to begin with, and some of the stuff I'm still not 100% on. But it's a solid 3 out of 5 again. If I had to pick which show I liked more this week, I'm still going to kind of give the edge to SmackDown. It wasn't as cut and dry as it has been, but I still feel, at least with that main event to go off of overall, that was a phenomenal main event. So, yeah, that's my review of Raw and SmackDown for this week. But what do you think? Did you expect the fake low blow to be the next step in the evolution of the low blow feud taking place on SmackDown? Are you a fan of the B Team over on Raw, the soon-destined tag team champions? No matter what your opinions are, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear it. I honestly read anytime anybody says anything through any means of getting a hold of me. I listen to it and read it, because you guys are why I keep doing this. So, again, I've been Captain Solomon. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you later.